After a lifetime of fighting in a truly catastrophic war, you'd think the heroes of the ancient epic, the Mahabharata, would get a pretty sweet reward, right? Well, the ending is one of the most surprising, most philosophical twists in all of literature. It completely redefines what victory even means, turning it from something you win on a battlefield into something you win inside yourself.
So, let's jump in. Our story picks up with the righteous king Yudhishtira. I mean, this guy has been through it all. He's outlived his family, walked the entire length of India on a grueling journey, and now, finally, he stands alone at the gates of Swarga, or heaven. He made it. But what he finds inside, well, it's not at all what you'd expect.
He walks into paradise, and immediately, he's just disgusted. Because right there, looking happy and blissful, are his mortal enemies, the 100 Kaurava brothers, led by the absolute villain, Duryodhana. The very men whose greed started the whole war are in heaven, being treated like heroes.
Yudhishtira is, as you can imagine, furious. He demands to know, where is my family? Where are my brothers and my wife? And the gods just calmly say, oh, they're in another place. And right there, that's the central mystery of the story. How on earth could this be?
Okay, so Yudhisthira is not having it. He's determined to figure out this cosmic injustice, and he demands to be taken to his family. The gods just say, all right, and they lead him away from the light of heaven, down into this dark, gloomy place deep beneath the earth. This is Naraka, the realm of misery.
And there, surrounded by cries of agony, he finds them. And each one is paying for a very specific, very human flaw. His brother Bhima is there for his gluttony. The amazing archer Arjuna is there for his envy. His wife Draupadi for her pride. Seeing the people he loves suffering while his enemies are partying in heaven, it's just too much for him to handle.
The gods turn to him and ask if he's seen enough, if he's ready to go back to paradise. And this right here, this is the crucial moment. Yudhisthira makes his choice. He refuses to leave his family. He says he would rather suffer in hell with the people he loves than enjoy heaven all by himself. His loyalty seems unbreakable.
But then, something completely unexpected happens. The gods start to laugh. Turns out, this whole thing, the villains in heaven, the heroes in hell, it was all an illusion. It was one final, massive test for Yudhisthira. And they're about to show him what his entire journey was really about. The gods reveal this incredible, piercing insight. They tell him, look, you gave up your kingdom, you were even willing to give up heaven for your family, but there's one thing you're still clinging to, your anger. They explain that his devotion to his family isn't just pure love, it's tied up in his hatred for the Kauravas. He hasn't truly, completely let go.
And this brings us to the core teaching of the entire epic. See, there are two kinds of victory. The first is Vijaya. That's material victory, like winning a war. There's always a winner and there's always a loser. But then there's a higher victory, and it's called Jaya. This is a spiritual victory, a victory where there are no losers at all. You see, the war on the battlefield, that was just the stage. The real battle, the one that actually mattered, was the one happening inside Yudhisthira's own mind and heart. The real goal of this whole epic isn't Vijaya, it's Jaya.
For Yudhishtira, this is like a switch being flipped. This revelation hits him, and he suddenly understands the real purpose of his final test. It wasn't about loyalty at all. It was about his own prejudice.
In that moment, he gets it. To be truly free, he has to let go of the lines he draws in the sand between us and them, between friend and enemy. His ego, his sense of being right, all of his hatred, it all had to just dissolve into pure, simple compassion for everyone.
Humbled, he finally accepts the Kauravas. He forgives them, and in that very moment of forgiveness, the gods and the sages all cry out, Jaya. He has won the ultimate victory, the victory over himself. The illusion of hell completely vanishes, and he ascends not just to the normal heaven, but to Vaikuntha, an even higher realm, the true home of peace.
So, why does the epic end like this? Well, there is another layer here. The entire Mahabharata is actually a story that's being told to someone else, a king named Janamejaya who is completely consumed by his own desire for revenge. Yudhishthira's journey is a lesson for him, and, for all of us.
See, this King Janamejaya is in the middle of this massive ritual to wipe out the entire race of serpents just to avenge his father's death. The storyteller is using the tale of his own ancestors to show him that his rage comes from the exact same place, a lack of inner peace. And this brings us to this huge idea, Dharma. It's not just a bunch of rules. It's the uniquely human ability to rise above our basic animal instincts. You know, the law of the jungle where the strongest just takes whatever they want. It's the choice to care for the weak instead. And that's really the eternal choice we all face, isn't it? We can give in to our fears and our insecurities and try to exploit others. That's adharma. Or we can choose to empathize, to look beyond ourselves and protect others. And that's dharma. It's something we have to work on constantly.
So what's the big takeaway from all this? The Mahabharata is basically teaching us that all the conflict we see on the outside, whether it's Duryodhana's greed or even Yudhishtira's righteous anger, it's all just a symptom. The real disease is on the inside. It's a deep insecurity, a lack of faith, that leads to a lack of inner peace.
When King Janamejaya hears this, it hits him. He has his own moment of realization. He understands that his quest for revenge is not dharma. So he makes a decision, and he signals it with a chant that you'll still hear today at the end of all Hindu rituals.
First, he says, Shanti, peace. With that one word, he calls off the violence. He ends the cycle of revenge. He chooses peace with the people he saw as his enemies. The external war is over. Then he says, Shanti, a second time. This one is for inner peace. It's the understanding that you can't have peace in the world if you don't have it inside yourself. It's about being at peace with who you are, conquering that inner fear.
And he says Shanti a third and final time. This one extends the wish for peace to everything, to the whole cosmos, to our world, to all of existence. It's a total surrender to reality, accepting the world as it is.
And that leaves us with a really powerful question to think about in our own lives. The epic seems to suggest that our biggest battles aren't about beating our enemies or trying to force the world to be the way we want it to be. So what if the only real victory, the only true Jaya, is just finding a way to be at peace with the world, exactly as it is?